Hello and welcome to Wandering Monster, the monster manual of pod. Nope, we don't do that. Fuck it. Look, hey, this is a rough cut. Welcome to Wandering Monster, America's test table, where we just like to fuck shit up, mostly our own shit. My name is John Baltusberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
Ian Servas.
And guys, tonight we are trying some new stuff. Obviously, we've had a little bit of technical difficulties, but because we are not only are we interested in exploring the world of new things, we're also terrified of it. So we are dragging with us into this new place our binky, our comfort blanket, which is obviously Mork Borg. We are playing Cross Stitch tonight, which should be a blast. We have wasted so much of your time just sitting around trying to figure out why we can't hear ourselves, and let's be honest, that's the most important thing to me.
So if I may, before Tenacious D was famous and doing movies and so forth, they had an HBO show back in the day that was really funny. It was when they were at their best, and they played an open mic night, and the sign for the open mic night often said, "Come learn guitar in front of a real audience." I kind of feel like this is like streaming technology
in front of a real audience.
Yeah.
Well, how about I give a little bit of an overview about the cross stitch, and we can kind of transition into game mode.
We are in game mode, so let's just
you know what I meant. I mean the inner state of mind.
Just do it, coward.
Oh, I'm not a coward. No, you should be afraid if you knew what to be afraid of. So the cross stitch.
I've seen you around spiders.
I like spiders. Well, I mean, with the exception of ones that skitter a little bit too fast, so they seem to break the sound barrier.
That's spiders. The word you're looking for is spiders. They don't come in the non-skitter variety.
I like spiders. I'm okay.
I do
with
too.
Spiders. I save them. But the cross stitch is itch funding currently, and it is a product of Ben Mansky, who has very lovingly provided this to us. It is still itch funding until October 1st, so get in on it. The more that it is being itch funded, those funds are being used to add more art and strengthen editing, add more content and such to varying degrees. So I've seen it from the Ashcan version to the deluxe version, and it's a beautiful, really neat game. And we'll have to figure out the time dimensions of if we're going to go over a few minutes or not for this evening. But this is definitely a fantastic game that would be great on your table to play out in its natural rhythm. Very excited to bring this to you this evening. So that kind of a short little thing. Let us introduce our cast of characters for the evening. So tell us who you're playing and why are you currently rotting in King Fathmu's real shitty prison cell?
Well, I'll start things out. What the hell? I am Falgog, the dead god's prophet. And that dead god's name is Ek, Beacon of the Impotence. Or Beacon of Impotence instead of the Impotence. I feel like it doesn't really deserve the Impotence, but yeah, because Ek is dead. What's a dead god gonna do for you? Nothing. That's what. It's gonna stink.
Not help you get
it's
it
gonna
up,
rot.
Apparently.
It's gonna get its smell all over me and my clothing and everything I touch or get near, and not answer your prayers. That's what Ek's gonna do for you. So, praise Ek. Oh, and why I'm in prison. They said something about murder, but it's really kind of hard to narrow down why I'm here.
What is murder exactly, anyways?
How does it work?
And what's the deal with airplane food?
The murder charges stick to you, but they're not sticky. My name is Ferric Bringare. I am a accomplished hunter of the undead. I see undead, I hunt undead. The dead are dead again. I call myself a re-deader. Anyway, in my quest to hunt and fight and Finish the dead. I have come into my possession knowledge, sacred knowledge, of a potion that can stop anyone from turning dead. And I sell this potion in the streets. Unfortunately, Fafmo, little bit territorial with potion. So, anyway, in jail, charges mixing poison with opium. Look.
Sounds best.
Look. I want to explain.
Borat goes to jail.
Let me explain. Was poison in potion? Maybe a little bit. Was opium potion? Yes. Does it work? Look, either you don't become dead or you get real high. Both are wins. Both are wins.
Agreed.
So we have a
This character started as one thing and became something else real fast.
Absolutely. So we have a murderer ? Possibly ! Snakes oil salesman / Borat, and then in third we have.
I do want to point out real quick that the character I'm playing comes from Grave Matters. Is the Death Hunter from that module.
Is Rededder in that module?
No, but I wish it was.
Dude, John, you should trademark that immediately.
More Convenience 2 is going to have Rededders.
That you pitch that to like the right studio, you don't even need more of a pitch than the title.
Get dead or get deader, or
get deader, the Rededder.
The Rededder.
The redeadening.
This time it's delicious.
Yeah, the sequel is the redeadening. The
Too Dead, Too Furious.
So with that lead-in...
He just watches it while masturbating.
Now with that lead-in, Mr. Paschke, tell us about your convict. Oh, that is a challenge.
It's fine. Hey, everyone, it's fine. Just...
They don't call it Commodore 69 for not a reason,
See, you're fucking up that joke earlier. It's going to get cut out. No one will ever know you fucked it up.
Kind of bring this back into focus as Borda is introducing himself. He is a wretched royalty. And so it sounds like you're in prison currently because you, checking notes here, you started your own cult. And everyone is innocent in prison. So it's with this framework that we begin tonight's tale. So if we see this kind of initial shot of the three of you in prison explaining exactly why you're innocent and why all these charges against you are false, we'll kind of slip into some narration to give a little bit more context for the scene as you're arguing about whether or not this horse tastes like raisins. So Sonderfall was never much to look at. No more than a few scattered houses in a laughably small town center. But as one of the few outposts on the perilous trek between Cleveland and the Western Kingdom, travelers came to rely upon it for a brief respite from the road. Until a week ago, when rumor reached Schleswig that Sonderfall has vanished entirely. Whole buildings gone without a trace, with their inhabitants gone with them. The paranoid King Fathmu IX seized on this rumor, his darkest fears all but confirmed. His kingdom was crumbling, and now unseen enemies conspired to snatch his subjects right from underneath his nose. Furious, he sent a group of guards to investigate and exact revenge, but they found nothing but an empty stretch of road. As was his wont, Fathmu turned to prophecy. A priestess of Verhu, under no small duress, gave word that the town's disappearance foreshadowed something much, much worse. She told of a being from outside, threatening to pierce through the already fragile reality, a strange, menacing deity, an enemy of an enemy of any and all life in the dying world. Whipped into a frenzy, Fathmu demanded that the priestess locate Sonderfall immediately and stop this creature lest she face a slow and painful death. The panicked priestess scraped together a ritual to reveal the hidden and lost and sent a band of mercenaries on their way. After days with no word, She sent another and another. None returned. Running out of time and options, the priestess now turns to the scum populating King Fathom's dungeon, which is to say, you. So most importantly, does that horse taste like raisins?
It depends on which part of it you lick.
Does it?
Yes, it very much does.
That probably explains the second charge levied upon you that we're not going to even mention here in good, polite company. For the crime of horse licking.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, everyone.
Expediting the scene, all of you have been interred in this dungeon for various amounts of length according to the severity of your crime, and you have been given this chance to get your freedom and a palm full of silver in exchange for being mercenaries under a very auspicious and terrifying situation. You are being dragged voluntarily by armed guards, voluntarily to a ritual site, which is several miles outside the prison that you've been forced to march, and you find yourself at crossroads. And in these crossroads, you see that there are the makings of a ritual. The air itself has this actinic tang that like lingers in the back of your throat like too many sour lemons. There is the priestess herself, who is garbed in tattered and dark robes that are covered in ritualistic ash from braziers that have been burning for far too long. You can see at the center of this crossroad that there is a circle that has been inscribed into the dirt, and there is a series of strings crisscrossing the circle, and you see what looks to be like some crumpled bits of paper that the guards are looking at and drawing symbols in the dirt. As you are staring at kind of this odd scene, you begin to feel more and more the hair on the back of your neck beginning to stand up, and just that sour taste in your mouth gets more and more sour. Some of you, all of you, make me a presence roll real quickly.
That's a 14 from John.
Okay.
And that's the wrong dice from Charles. 1 second.
Apropos for the evening.
That is a 13 for me.
13?
Oh, but that's not with my modifier. I don't know if I said that was presence. Yeah, I get a +1, so that's actually 14.
Okay.
Nice.
And Mr. Paschke. 18. So all of you are very attuned to how weird and unusual this whole scene is. The priestess underneath her robes pulls out some very thick, organic-looking cord of some kind and begins to trace weird lines in the dirt with it. Tapers are put at various points in the circle while the guards begin to light them. The more the candles are lit, the more you feel a vibration in the air itself, like your teeth are itching, your palms are beginning to just sweat unnaturally, and smoke begins to billow out from all the candles, just making this whole place a morass of smoke and far too thick, viscous air. You hear the priestess intoning words that drone, piercing your skull, and your vision begins to squirm. From the center of this whole ritual that's happening, you see what looks like a line being drawn in the air that shimmers, almost kind of like a tear or a rend in space and time itself. All of you get little glimpses of something beyond. Each of you sees something different, like dark, shadowy figures leering at you. You think you see something with blades of some kind, sense of a glints of metal, and before you can protest your whole situation, a very gruff guard behind you says, see you and shoves you into this tear. Smoke fills your eyes and your lungs, and you just fall into blinding nothingness. Now, I had all of you roll D4 for me earlier, and now you get to find out what has happening to you.
I don't wanna.
So, is it Ferric?
Ferric, yeah.
Thank you. So, Ferric and...
It's short for ferret, Dick.
Ferric.
So
Ferric, not ferret. Ferric, Dick.
So Ferric, your lungs, as you protest the situation, your mouth is open as you get shoved into this void. Your lungs fill up with this thick cough, like burning acrid smoke that's like funeral pyres and incense. And you feel something inside you wither. Your max
day for John
right now is halved. Round up to not be a total jerk, but
I had an even number, so it's fine.
Okay. The other two of you, so Falgog and Borda, as you get shoved through, you feel hands rifling your pockets, rifling your sack, rifling all the things on you. And
not my sack.
Not your sack. Your pockets. Both of you, quickly, roll me D4.
Oh, how quickly do you need it? All right, here we go. I also got a 4.
Oh, great. So both of you are missing 4 random items from your inventory.
God damn it.
That's bad. And lastly, I need you to roll me one more D4, Borda, as Barbarister, your magical intelligent horse, has also shoved through the gulf between worlds. 1.
Rude.
So all of you have had something horrible have happened to you. Horse is shoved through. You get through the other side, and the horse looks unfazed, a little bit weary, but it majestically shrugs it off in like slow-mo, mane floating in the air, everything dramatically, and looks no worse for the wear as two of you realize that you're missing most of your possessions, and you're looking at Ferric, who looks withered and far too old. Your eyes are heavy sacks, big baggy sacks under your eyes. So you find yourself, as you clear through this big cloud of smoke, you see yourself approaching a rundown little village, progressing on a road. Overhead, you see one lone black crow flying across your vision, calling slowly into the distance. And you see up ahead that the town itself consists of 2 dusty streets, a small square, and little else. There's a shallow little pool in the center of the town that looks maybe like an old well or a fountain. To the side of it, there's a statue of some kind, and you notice a little black cat sitting by it. On the other side of this little fountain, you see that there is a man wearing armor who kind of friendly waves at you as you approach towards the town square. That black cat seems to be kind of watching you slowly as you advance towards the town center. So all of you previously have been provided the map of Sunderfall, the village that you've been looking for. The ritual worked, and you can see that this is very small town. All in all, you see that there are 9 structures that are in this space. Sky is gray. You can't exactly tell what time of day it is. It's far too quiet, and the air seems heavier than normal. How do you start your expedition?
Coughing.
I have a quick question before we start. I probably didn't pick it up because I wasn't listening carefully enough, but did King Fuckface or whatever his name was...
the 9th?
Yes, him. Did he say he just wanted information? Is there a person we're supposed to find?
So when this village disappeared, it was a sign, a prophecy that the end times are nigh, and that this village is heralding the entrance of some type of terrible thing from beyond the void. So you need to figure out how to bring this village back into where it needs to be to stop the prophecy or stop the creature. But if something doesn't happen here, according to that priestess who made this ritual, she was saying all of reality is going to crumble. The mythical 7x7 is going to happen. So you 3 scum plus a horse, may taste like raisins, need to stop reality from falling apart. So no big challenge or responsibility.
Okay. Low stakes. All right.
Low stakes.
Got this.
Do any of us have like a talk to the animals skill that could be useful?
You mean?
No?
No, man.
Are you asking that of your compatriots?
Yeah.
Are you asking that within earshot of the horse?
Yeah.
The horse scoffs, looks at you, and spits towards your shoe.
Nice.
I think the horse might understand English at any rate, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a talking horse.
Oh. Okay. Right. Naturally. Okay. So I don't know. I feel like you usually get more of a straight answer out of a cat than people, but maybe that's just been my experience.
The horse rolls its eyes.
I don't know what that means. Does it want me to have a higher opinion?
It rolls its eyes again, and it walks away from you. Okay.
I believe you have insulted the horse.
The man who was waving at you previously looks at you talking to your horse and then approaching the cat, shrugs and goes back inside what looks to be like a very ramshackle inn. And the door as it shuts just sounds a little bit too loudly, kind of like dropping a lead weight in water, how it kind of echoes. The cat, as you approach, looks at you with big green eyes. And how are you approaching this cat? Make me a presence check.
I would think that lard would eliminate the need for a presence check.
So you approach the cat, and the cat runs away from you at first, and then it peeks behind this crumbling, very weathered statue, and again looks at you with these very large eyes, not blinking. The back of its body is end kind of reared just a bit as it's sizing you up. It has this very deep, knowing look as it's looking at you. And
I told you guys.
As you approach, it slow blinks, and then it turns and runs. And you see, as it turns and runs, that even though this is an all-black cat, that it has black string that it's carrying in its mouth. And it runs in the direction of one of the nearby buildings. It is the building towards your relative. So it is if you are approaching from the south towards this village, it would be at your northwest, or basically your rough 9 o'clock, 9:30.
So do you guys want to go follow that cat while I go talk to the happy knight who went back into the tavern? Or does someone want to do a third thing?
Would it be helpful for me to kind of give a little bit of a description of the buildings that are nearby if you don't have the map pulled up?
Sure.
You are fine. You don't need to display it for the viewers because this is theater of the mind here. So if we are looking at Thunderfall and seeing what the buildings nearest to you are as you're approaching from the south, the building, if we're using your well or fountain as your kind of center point here, to the let's say our 6 o'clock, roughly 6:30. That is what looks to be like that. I should have given a little better approximation. That's the inn that I mentioned previously. I should have said it was more close to you, even further away. Next building around the clock at that 9:30 that the cat ran towards looks to be like some type of general store. Very kind of forlornly, on a very weathered sign hanging above it says "the only shop," and you believe that to be true. At midnight, you see that there is a kind of more stately looking building. The architecture still very quaint. You would have figured this is probably a town hall, if not some type of very formal building for some purpose. To your 3 o'clock, you see what looks to be a farmhouse. It looks to be in pretty bad disrepair with a field behind it that looks to have some type of very low growing vegetable of some kind with limp green tops. To your about 5 o'clock, you have a what looks to be like an old shack that is surrounded by a copse of trees. Further out into the surroundings, you see towards your southwest, there is a very strange house that looks like it was just ripped out of the ground and supported by two stone pillars of some kind. Looks extremely out of place. To your north, you see a very shriveled patch of trees, and hiding in between it are large blocks and crumpled buildings of some kind. So that's a lot of what you see. The only thing else of remark is past the fields of that farmhouse, you see what looks to be some type of barn. So 9. Oh, and lastly, I should have mentioned it. There's also one more house that is further past that shop. So 9 buildings all in all.
Split up or stay together?
Stay together.
Okay.
As a quick thing, I just was taking a view at Twitch. Mr. Paschke, your audio may not be heard by the members of our audience. Thank you, Ben. You will be resorting to pantomiming all of your actions. Apparently, your horse will be doing all of the speaking for you. Get the peanut butter. All right, so the terrible curse of this place. You notice that your companion seems to have lost their voice. And so they're just making wild gesticulations as they find themselves with a all too shriveled tongue in their mouth. So with that in mind, you say you don't want to split up and that you are going to be exploring the village. What's your first point? I had interrupted you previously, Fall
Guy. That's all. I just said, no, you didn't interrupt me. John was saying, or I'm sorry, Paschke, I believe, was saying if we don't want to follow the cat. But I'm not convinced we shouldn't follow the cat. I don't know. It seemed very knowing to me as it was described as knowing.
I want to go in the inn.
Okay. You can talk for our benefit, Pashki.
But we
No, I just mean because I can't do charades too well. Are you cool with the inn? All right.
We got the blind guy in the mute, and we're playing some D&D, guys.
Yeah, it's great. It's super cool.
So
that was a Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder movie, I'll have you know.
So the first thing you notice about when you approach this inn is that there are big rusty metal hinges above the door for where there was some type of sign showing the heraldry of the name of this place, and it's just gone. Half of the building itself looks to be in good condition, all things relative, as everything has this air of dereliction about it. But the back half of the inn is exceedingly ramshackle, as if things were just hastily built on and then just left. The more you stare at this building, you see that it's kind of sagging towards the middle and especially towards that back end, as if it's leaning in upon itself. So you see there are several ways you could enter into this building. There's a door on the back, door in the front. That guy who waved at you until you didn't really pay attention to him just kind of walked back in. What do you do?
Follow him. Walk in the door that the guy walked into.
Uh-huh. So when you enter this place, the first thing that hits you is a very deep smell of uncleaned dust. You can see that there are several tables set up around this place that have a thick layer of dust. The only area that's not completely caked in dust is the front bar where people would check in for this inn and tavern. It looks to be meticulously clean, but there are piles of paper upon it, pens and quills, and various writing supply. There's tons of papers that have crumpled up and balled up on the floor. And that man that you saw previously is at a table in the corner. He is pouring some type of, well, you're assuming ale or liquor of some kind into a very dark flagon and looks at you with dark eyes. He raises his mug as you enter, doesn't say anything, but then just starts to chug it down. His eyes are very steely as he considers you.
Is there anyone else in the place?
No one. He finishes his ale, wipes his mouth, and he goes, "Hi, well met.
That's cool.
Don't look to be around.
Y'all can't hear
here.
me, so it doesn't matter what I say.
What? I can hear you.
Okay, y'all were just ignoring me then? That's cool too, I guess.
What?
I didn't hear
you before.
I didn't hear you at all.
I came in and started like role playing, and y'all kept going.
Oh, we didn't hear that.
Hear
I don't know why you were muted for a second, but you were.
Taking it from the top. So a man is drinking a flagon of ale, and he is considering you.
As I walk in, flanked by my compatriots, I see he's faces male. I look to see if anyone's tending the bar. If not, I'm going to go over and grab a mug and approach the man sitting there. And if there is someone tending the bar, I'll order a mug of ale.
He looks at you as you're fishing around for mug in there, and he goes, "Don't grab the green bottle. Grab the brown bottles. That's the good stuff." It's
I nod. Thank you. I will grab. I prefer my liquor clear, but okay, brown bottle it is.
And he kind of expresses like it's all gonna be a little murky, brother. Your accent, I can tell you're not from around here.
Kyrgyz. I am from Kyrgyz.
Gergus, oh, I did a tour of duty there once. You and your
I'm
companions,
sorry.
come, sit. I'm
I'm joining him.
Yeah, I'll join him too. But as I do, I'm going to see if I can't pick up a couple of those crumpled up sheets of paper and bring them with me.
While you do that, make me a presence check.
You got it. Excuse me, that was very impolite. You got it, Daddy. There we go. That's a natural 20.
So you see how the papers are laying about, and the paper that's most on top that you see, like how all these other papers are situated. There's one that seems like the chief, most paramount, and you very surreptitiously slip this into your pocket. And you know that you've found something of significance in the chaos of this place. And you can kind of play it off as if you're fishing a bottle, so no one's any wiser for your abscons.
Sweet.
And the man introduced himself as Helger. Don't tell me that you were also mercenaries sent in by that witch. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. We are also mercenaries sent in by witch. Definitely not war criminals or put in prison against the will.
Say less, brother.
For killing innocents. What is innocence in the who? Tell me, point in the street and show me man who can claim innocence in them days.
Well, men, no.
Alethea also said the same thing.
As you talk a little bit about your cult and how you can offer innocence again, Helger just kind of looks very queerly at you and very and he's like, so what exactly did Fathmu, and he spits on the floor. What did Fathmu and his witch tell you about this place?
I will tell you, my friend, we are mushrooms. We get in dark, giving shit. What they tell us, my friend, is nothing. They tell us go in hole, find thing, bring back. I don't even know. Do you know? I point at Charles. Do you know what we're supposed to bring back? Because I may have been a little high on own supply.
A better tasting horse? As the horse, for those they still can't hear our friend.
I am unable to know that, and so I am very curious.
Yeah,
I was trying to figure it out, but I can't. You know what? We're just playing. We're playing it fast and loose. Mr. Patchkey, can you tell us what your horse? Oh no, it decided to play an ad. So never mind. I can't find out if we can hear you, even if you did a thing.
That is a great name for a horse, Barbie.
His horse is Barbarister, and the easiest way I think to pronounce that would be Barbie. So I will try to communicate Mr. Paschke's interactions with the world as we go forward.
How's your Mr. Ed voice? Are we still going with the talking horse as the explanation? Yeah, I think you've got to do that tonight, Ian. I think you've got to step into the breach.
I will do my best to impersonate a talking horse. So, as this wonderful royalty has lost his tongue, the horse will speak for him, interpreting his pantomimes.
Excellent.
So, I assume you've brought your horse into this seemingly abandoned inn, which for some reason the Helger doesn't really seem to pay any attention to the horse, but in between sips from his flagon, kind of is still giving you hard looks that are intermixed with wide, broad smiles. Maybe it's the liquor, but as you are, talking with him, he's like, uh, this place, tourism and business is down, so the inn is fallen out of use. I live here because there's plenty of rooms. There's some that you can take as well, but don't go into the very back. There's a sinkhole, and if you go the wrong way out to use the loo, you might fall in. But I think all of you should just sit tight and just drink all that you want, because there's no one here to make you pay for it. So that's what I do here. I sit here and I just drink, and I just wait for all this to blow over.
What I'm hearing this guy say is that in this town, horses drink for free.
I mean,
so we were right to bring it in the bar.
Grains go into the horse. So does grains into the ale. Horses are meant to drink.
Horses are fascinating. Horses are fascinating creatures because you put in hay and grain, and fast comes out. Very few creatures you can feed grain and fast makes.
You could feed a cheetah meat, and you would get fast that way, but it's not an efficient fast.
Is very small fast, very fast, but very small. Much like me.
I was not picturing you as a small guy. That's fun.
Thalgok, do you take a look at the piece of paper while you're
here?
Or do you
absolutely.
wait until private?
I don't know how long we're going to be here. We're going to keep pumping this.
That's
guy,
not leading.
So.
I just wanted to know what your
No.
You can be here all night.
Yeah. Plus, what if what I read here somehow affects my interactions with this seedy-looking fellow, or not seedy, but sketchy. There's the word I'm looking for. Untrustworthy-looking fellow. So yeah, I'm going to read my crumpled bit of paper.
So on this bit of crumpled paper, you see what looks to be like a ritualistic circle that is inscribed. And at various points, you see that there are lines that have been drawn around it, along with like a little symbol for fire. And then in like a very heavy-handed, almost cutting the paper with like a very thick quill, it says, "Only black." And you see like the note about the lines going across the circle. Like it's particularly pointing towards maybe burning. Maybe that's what the symbol of fire means, burning one line in the circle out.
Okay. I'm going to hang on to it for now, obviously, but yeah. You think on that.
How many bottles of booze can I feed the horse?
How many bottles of booze can you feed to the horse?
And I have audio now.
So you...
Oh, hey! Welcome back, Pashkeet.
Fantastic. So there's something that's very weird in this air, and all of a sudden you see like your companion's tongue go from a withered black shriveled weed to a full-fledged tongue, and your speech is halting at first, but you're able to talk again. So again, this man has been looking at you very queerly, very unusually, as you are gone from being completely mute and acting suspicious to now fully speaking again. Your horse is drinking something out of a cask. This has been a very weird time for everyone, and all of you just kind of looking, and there's a little bit of an odd kind of tension. Again, the man is smiling at you, trying to figure out what you're doing here. He again invites you to just sit and wait this out.
So, I guess since we don't have psychic communication, so we can't really out of game talk. about our strategy now that we're sitting down to a table with this guy.
I mean, I could distract him with the horse and have him give it a taste if you and John want to like kind of figure out what to do.
Yeah, have him taste your horse.
Mortal, come. Allow me to show you how the lemonade is made.
The man stops smiling. Evan looks at you and goes, "Pardon?" And you see he's like grabbing something underneath the table that you can't see.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Give him a lick.
He turns and looks at you, Farrick, and goes,
My friend.
Is your friend okay?
He is
we
very...
don't have...
Look. Hey, you did small stint in Kyrgyz, yeah?
Yeah.
You remember the fun game where sometimes you put a little bit of mercury in someone's drink as prank?
Of course.
He loves that prank, and now he is a little wonky with horses.
And he pulls you very close to your face, like he leans in. Has he been bitten by a goblin? Have you checked for the bite marks?
Look, I will tell you, my friend, I have not checked.
There's rooms in the back that you could lock him up if he starts foaming at the mouth.
If begins become goblin, I kill him before he can attack anyone. I promise. I promise on your dead mother's grave.
We don't need goblins here.
I agree. I agree. They are terrible tasting.
So,
not like the horse at all.
No.
I saved your ass just now. You are welcome. I said you were mad for mercury poisoning.
So what else? What other interactions are you having with this space or this person?
You know what? Fuck it. We got a late start and we need to make up some time. So I'm going to beat some straight answers out of this guy. I straight up pull my femur and light into his dome piece before anyone can even stop me.
That's perfectly fine. As a housekeeping, how far are we going past normal time?
I didn't know we were going past normal time.
10 minutes after normal time?
Yeah, we could do that, I guess. But okay. I'm still going to lay into his dome piece.
All right. So completely unexpectedly, as they're having this aside about something goblin mercury
right
horse lemonade.
So I should have advantage since
absolutely
I'm out of fucking
your
nowhere.
Your DR would be like 8 for clobbering this person with a femur out of nowhere.
Let's see. That would be a 10 plus strength is... Oh, I'm sorry. That's the damage. Okay.
Oh, so your strength is 0. So if you rolled an 8 or 8 or greater, then you have connected. So you
excellent 1d4 for damage. And I do a whopping 4 points of damage.
Farrick falls back away as you're attacking the man he was inches away from, and says, "Ah, it's a boy."
So you so you conk this man upside the head with a femur.
Downside. But yes.
There is a heavy thud, and he just turns and looks at you. And for a second,
my friend, you have fucked up.
He just doesn't smile. He just very flatly says, "Are you finished?"
And at that point, I simply withdraw the femur and go, "Yes, I believe I am. I believe I'm finished."
He looks like he's considering his words. He gets up, dusts off his jerkin.
How much dust?
A lot. This place is not look like it's been used in far too long, which is unusual. There's like a ring around his belly from just like being on this dusty table. And he whips out a knife and roll me an agility check.
All right.
Defense.
I'm not an agile guy.
Well, you have your smell of decay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Automatic 2-point advantage. So let's see. That's a 15, and my agility is.
If you roll a 15 on your defense plus two, you roll a 17.
Yep.
So he whips out a dagger, and he slices the air right by your ear, as if he's trying to just nick you, but you move out of the way. And he goes, "You got the drop of me this time, but it's just because of this ale. Look, you don't fuck with me, and I won't fuck with you.
Fairsy, squaresy.
You come back here, I will fucking gut you. I will gut you when you sleep. I will gut you when you eat. I will pull whatever you're eating fucking out of you. Now look, I've been nice. I'm doing something here. You are not going to stop what I'm doing here." And in fact, he like pulls out this long sword, and as he's pulling it out, like you hear it scraping out of his holster, and he goes, I'm just going to take care of this right now. And he pulls it to draw to like just skewer you. And then the air gets really hazy in here. Like someone's just lit a big bonfire and put too many juniper branches on. And all of you, including your horse, your vision starts to go milky. And there's like a cool breeze. And the fog clears. And you see that you are approaching a small village that is built with a crossroads. There is a crow that flies above you, going across the very monochromatic sky. At the center of this village, there is a small, what looks to be a well, and by it, there's a statue. By a ramshackling looking inn, there is a man who very friendly waves at you and beckons you over. By the statue, there is a small black cat with green eyes that is considering you carefully.
My friend, I want you to know that I am sober again, and I blame you and God.
I had nothing to do with it.
You and him.
Well, you can go drink with that like hard-headed motherfucker if you want, but I'm not going back in that place. I want to hold on to what I eat. You heard what he said to me.
I did, and
I
you
eat
know,
stuff because I want it inside of me.
The worst part is he probably thinks I'm with you. Now come, let's all go together. Go.
Go in there and tell him you killed me. I mean, he's not going to be able to argue.
Are you impugning my honesty?
As you are talking amongst yourselves, there are rats that run from like across the road, darting out of little holes and running far out of sight and kind of disappearing into the mist far to your west.
No, I've been in that bar before. Let's check something else out.
Cat?
I don't care about the cat. Look. But you want to seek out, we seek out.
What do we have to lose? We wind up back here again?
Hang on a tick. Do I still have the crumpled up thingamajig in my pocket?
So you look in your pocket and there's nothing.
Ah.
I mean, just the equipment you had before those things took the stuff out of your stuff.
Right. Okay.
So wait, the equipment he had before the stuff was taking out the stuff, so he has the stuff back?
Everything that your equipment that you had when you first arrived at the village is what you have.
Right.
So the missing random items are still missing?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
What are the missing random items? Is it all lard?
I think you get to pick. I picked mine.
Okay. Well, then I will give up an individual piece of silver for each item. That's only 5
that doesn't
silver.
seem fair.
Well,
it's equipment, not silver.
All right, fine. I will
if you don't want to pick, I will pick for you.
I'll pick.
Is my health still all fucked up?
Yes.
Okay. Then I don't care about anything else.
Have you tried praying to that guy? I mean, I'm not saying he is
You can
God.
pray to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot, right?
Waiting.
Okay, maybe not.
Okay.
All right.
Well, fine. See if I'll let you into the afterlife, because not now.
I think that just means that John is a religious skeptic.
So the man watches you, and as he's been waving at you, and you don't pay him any attention, he just shrugs and then goes back inside the inn.
Yeah, stay in there, you fuck.
So you have various buildings that you haven't been in yet. Parvy's like, I guess you haven't been in the inn, but there's this inn. There is the shop, the farm, the town hall, two very weird houses, the stables outside the farmhouse, and then ruins of some kind or some type of destroyed building in to the far west, northwest. In that shack out in the woods.
I'm curious about the house on the two stone pillars.
Sure.
You guys cool with that?
Yep.
Sure.
Sounds good to John.
So you approach this house, and the house is kind of curious because it, again, looks like a house has been completely ripped off of the ground. You can see the underbelly of it as if this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, it's supposed to be on level ground, but it is being supported by two large stone structures that, from as you approach looking at it, looks like stone staircases spiraling upwards.
Handy.
So it's unusual. There's little metal gates on the wood or towards the staircases, but the building itself is quiet as you approach.
So both of the stone pillars, each one of them has like a little individual stairway headed up.
Yeah.
Spiral stairway.
Absolutely.
Are there any distinguishing characteristics between the two stairways or gates?
No. I mean, the house itself is about 20 feet up, and you can see that there are traces of the foundation on the ground, like bits of masonry, broken board, big nails, and everything.
It has a floor, though, so like if we get up there, theoretically speaking, okay. Well, you guys want to head up?
Sure.
Sure.
Are you going up the left or the right?
Isn't that the question?
Left.
Right.
I'll take the left.
Okay, so you're both going up different ones. So how about you, Bordo?
Left.
Okay. As you are approaching the staircases, you can see circling the house on the other side of the house is a very distraught man. This person is has this weird face paint, like it's pancake white, but across his face he's got black lines, as if someone took their fingers and pits and just swiped it across his face. His clothing is in patchwork, and he has a extremely bright, colorful belt made of interwoven strings around his waist. He is weeping, and as you are kind of approaching this, like, it's becomes louder, like you've almost kind of popped the bubble, and he is openly sobbing, and he is taking little rocks and throwing them up desperately on the side of the building, like trying to get someone's attention in the window. So who was going on the staircase on the left?
The Charleses.
Okay.
Fun.
Chucky staircase.
Are you paying this man any attention, or are you going straight up?
No, I want to talk to him first and see what his deal is and if I can help him, as long as it's quick.
He doesn't pay any attention to you advancing. He is scrabbling for more rocks and picking them up, looking at them very closely, and then throwing them up just desperately and just looking for more rocks.
Yes, John?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Like, he's not noticing us. I feel like that is where I hail him and say, hey, what's going on? Why are you so sad?
He looks at you, and his eyes are just bloodshot from crying, and he advances towards you to talk to you, and all of a sudden it's like he smacks into like a pane of glass, and his eyes go even wider, and he kind of recoils back, and he looks at you, and like he's trying to figure out the words that he wants to say, and he kind of sits down on his haunches and begins to wail, and stops wailing for a second, and looks up at you again, and he says, "What are you doing here?"
We're I don't know how to answer that. We're here on the King's
Bring them out! Get them out!
All right, buddy, will do. Will do. Who's they?
I don't know. I used
think
to
I know
know,
what's
but I
going on
don't
here.
know. I don't know, but if they don't come out, I will break this. I will tear this house and I will splinter it.
You won't. Sorry, buddy. I have bad news for that.
He
fella,
starts
'cause I
digging
think-
in the ground and he starts just eating the rocks.
That sounds more like an outcome that's going to happen. Yeah. No. That fella's got cursed. He's been coiced. See? He's been
I love
coiced.
I love a good coice.
He's been separated from his love and or actually probably his family, since he said them. He can't go close to them. He can only throw those rocks. He can't even really remember who it is that he's looking for. That's got to blow. I'm looking through my stuff and seeing if they have anything that can help here. Let's see.
Make a presence check. As you are interacting with him, Borda and Barbie, what are the two of you doing? Are you?
I did not do well.
Are you also approaching? Or are you keeping a safe distance from this crazy person?
Well, I would be raiding Barbie, as I do, as far up as I can get to the house, if not into the house, on top of the horse.
So my check would be a 10 with my modifier on presence.
He's muttering something under his breath now. You can't hear over the sound of gravel being kind of rotated in his mouth, but he is speaking something that you can't quite catch. Barbie, as this whole scene starts to bite you and steer you away from the house.
Nice. You are also delicious.
So Ferric, what are you doing? Are you going up, taking advantage of the situation and going up, or are you seeing this scene unfold?
No, I'm going up. I don't trust this scene at all.
All right. So
my goodness.
I hate in meetings where I think that I'm in mute or like I'm on and then I mute. I have twice now been muted and been unmute just to sneeze. And I'm pretty sure that the fart wants to. Like, I'm pretty sure I was in a meeting with a big major pharmaceutical company that I won't name here, and I think I just like unmuted to sneeze in the middle of it, making a business deal. So you go up the right staircase.
I've never been more proud of you.
So you go up the right staircase, moving aside this metal gate, and as you climb the stairs, you notice as you get close up to the top of it, there are chalk etchings along the side of the staircase that have various like wards and sigils, and the wooden door in front of you, there's like a big sigil drawn in wax and ink and charcoal that is splattered across the door.
I've made those before. The big wax and splatter sigil. In my case, doing chaos magic stuff. All right. Go ahead, John.
I have a pretty solid understanding of like necromancy.
Oh, you do? Well, make me a presence check.
Cool. That is a 13.
You don't know exactly what the magic is, but you clearly recognize wards when you see them. Whoever is inside
what?
Wards.
Whoever's
Whoever's behind this door has warded the ever-loving crap out of this.
Fun fact, did you know that a Mormon congregation is called a ward?
The door has been Mormoned to shit and back.
What happens when you're
I'm
not
going to
holding
knock on that door.
Do it.
So you knock, and you hear shuffling, light steps behind the door, and the door opens. There is a very disheveled-looking young person. You look at them at first, trying to figure out, kind of get their bearing, because they just have long, dirty, matted hair in front of them. The figure parts the hair, tucking it behind, also equally grimy ears, and with kind of watery eyes, looks up at you, and you notice this is a young teenager, a young boy, and he just looks at you and goes, "You're not supposed to be here, are you? Who are you?"
I am where I need to be. I noticed the protection scribbles. What you need is a professional at redeading.
A professional what?
No, don't worry. Look, I have a shovel. You understand?
Is that all it takes to be a redeader?
The teen looks at you and kind of blinks, very long, slow blinks, and goes, "Do you need help?"
No, I am... My friend, I am here to help you. You keep out evil? Great. It's good. It's good first step. But I tell you, my friend, come listen, my friend. The true victory is not keeping out, but putting back in ground. Ah?
John Baltusberger, occult protection racketeer.
That's
So
actually hard.
as you are having this conversation with this teen, the two of you down below, Barbie keeps pulling and biting and trying to pull you away, Falgog. I meant Borda, excuse me, Borda.
I'm still going to listen to Barbie. I'm going to follow the two of them away from this particular door or stairway and go up the one that is proven non-lethal.
Oh, okay, so you're leaving the person who's being weird with rocks in the mouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not going to be any more help.
Okay, so you're going up the left staircase. Borda, what are you doing?
Well, I don't want to leave the party, but my children.
Do what you want. Do what you want.
My horse is sending a message through one of its many spirits that it conveys information with to tell me that we should not go into that house. I fear it is not for the best for us.
Well, I think Falgog just already left. I don't know if you're saying that as he's leaving.
If he is, then I'll listen to him.
Okay.
I think he's right. I don't know. I get the feeling that if you go into that house, you're not coming out. And
are you hesitating as Borda? I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know if you're staying or going up.
I'm hesitating.
Okay. Then the two of you are noticing the man with the rocks in the mouth is all rocks out of his mouth, and he's putting them on the ground in various points, and he's starting to very fiercely scribble in the dirt, looking up, muttering, scribbling in the dirt, and like putting rocks in certain spots.
Can we read what he's scribbling?
No. Well, make me presence check. Meanwhile, Ferric, you are talking to this team, and they're very confused. They're like, still like, shovel putting in ground. Are you hungry? Do you need food?
I am always hungry, but I am also sober, my friend. Look.
I've got an old bottle of wine my parents left here you can have.
I will take you up on your offer, and in exchange, I will tell you about services I can give you.
And they shrug and go, okay. And then you go inside and shuts the door, and you are in a very small dwelling place. It looks extremely well, like worn, lived in, dirty bed, table. You see that there's a door to a space beyond. But this is almost kind of like a studio apartment. On the you see that there is various kind of books scattered on the ground, and he goes, I'll get the bottle of wine, and goes to that door off to the side. So Falgog, what did you get on your check?
14 with modifier.
You can't read it, but the fact that you yourself are a practitioner of dark magics of sort, or at least knowing a little bit about magic, these are blasphemous runes that are being scribbled into the dirt, and like looking at them, your blood feels like it's thickening, and the air is beginning to become very thick. The runes are smoking, the rocks are beginning to boil.
Nice.
Yeah, that's some good magic.
At this point, Barbie is like looking at you, Borda, and like leans in after it's been biting you. He's like, "Look, I don't like to talk much. You need to get the fuck away from here."
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's.
Barbie, you've always been loyal. I'm so precious to have. Beautiful, beautiful young Barbie. You handsome steed. My children, we must go. Children.
At that, I'll go like, yes, new god. I mean, my god's dead, so I don't see anything in the.
So at this point,
new god.
The man who has been conducting this little ritual is on the ground, pulls out like some type of very thin blade. Almost looks like it would be a letter opener on some type of noble's desk, and just cuts down his arm and bleeds into the ground. He mutters these phonemes that are so blasphemous I can't mention them here, or Twitch will cut our stream. But he rhythmically begins chanting something, and takes his hands and just makes this rending motion. The house itself begins to tremble. Ferric, all the stones rattle in this house, and then it collapses. The house is ripped in half. You hear a scream coming from the other half. You hear a scream of this teen that you just met. Ferric, do you scream, or are you stoic in the face of catastrophe?
Let me ask before I can answer.
Yeah.
Have I got a bottle of wine?
Yeah.
No, that's the worst travesty. Like, you heard him coming back with it, and you see like old glint of like a dark bottle, and then like thundering, like Richter's tail 9. What?
Does he drop the wine?
Oh yeah, he's dropping it because like you see.
No!
Roll me d8.
3.
So the building collapses, crushing you. You manage to miss the main like beams and cavers and stones, so you take 3 points of crushing damage
and die.
So your lungs are already wizened, and this big block falls right on your sternum, just knocking the air out of you and collapses along, like your ribs puncture you.
You're out of it permanently.
So
that's me dying.
Oh, okay. I was like, don't leave, John. As this happens, there's this huge cloud of dust that rises from this house. You hear the cackling of that man. You hear his blood spilling loudly over the sound of the building collapsing. And as the dust from the building settles, you find yourself approaching a small village that has a crossroads at the center. Above you, you see a crow flying just across you, across this monochromatic sky. There's a small well at the center of this crossroad, and to the side of it, there is a weathered statue. A cat sits at the feet of this statue. What looks to be an inn, there is a man wearing a full suit of armor who is smiling and waving you over. And did John actually leave us?
Maybe he's dead.
Okay. He's not.
He's not required to, like.
So
anyway. Hang on 2 seconds.
The three of you and your horse are standing here, taking this village in.
So John's back?
John never died. That's John is here, and John needs to stop living out of reality because the three of you here are approaching this village from the south.
Okay, so we're Groundhog's Day in this, guys.
Yeah, you don't realize that the first time?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, the fucking tweets for the show tonight said a time loop adventure for Mork Borg.
I
don't feel like
read.
Oh,
okay, so
and I can't love you. We all have our
joke making it doubly funny.
Rats seem to be running out of the field across your feet and past into the
I step on one.
And it squeals as you break its spine, and it looks plaintively at you.
I reach out and grab it. Does it have my face?
No, but there's all of you very briefly at the corner of your
I had my face.
You see something dark moving with long, sinister, sinewy arms, and when you blink again, it's gone. That man is still waving at you friendly, and after you stop paying attention to him, he shrugs and just walks back.
I throw the rat at him.
He sort of shrugged and walked back into the inn, so you just impotently throw a rat at the side of the inn.
That does sound like me, yeah. My friends, I want to go have a word with our dangerous friend, and then I'll be back. You can go with, but I do want to have a word with him.
I'm following the cat this time.
What are we doing then?
I'm gonna come follow the cat if I can keep up with Barbie, since I'm assuming that my friend has remounted that most noble steed.
I pick up the dead rat, and I gently give it to the cat as a peace offering.
You have a massaged and tenderized rat that you offer the cat.
Nice.
The cat slow blinks and leans forward and drops a bit of black cord, takes the rat, and then runs off to the northwest. In the direction of where you see old, shriveled, dead trees and shattered buildings.
Not where he went last time. Last time we went to the general store.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I pick up the wad of strings. Does it have birds' organs wrapped inside of it?
No, but it's wet from being in the cat's mouth, and it tingles a bit as you hold the string. It seems to thrum a bit in your hands.
Okay, so it's at this point that I choose to reveal unto my new god that I did manage to read a bit of what appeared to be a ritual diagram on our first go-round. and that one thing I remember from it was the phrase, it was either only black or only used black, and there were fire symbols, and marks as though along a clock face at different points in the village. I don't know what hour we're on. I should have been keeping track better, but I have a feeling like we can only do this loop so many times before it closes, and that we need to use the black string to fix. Well, shit, maybe the rip we came in through. I don't know. No, when we approached the village, no, that wasn't it either. I feel like you've described a slit in reality twice.
Now, keep in mind that you have the My Body a Vessel ability, which...
That's right! I get to ask my my dead god, provided I pass a D12, because I don't like to read.
Not on this one. This one, different class.
Oh, because it's my own god scroll.
Exactly.
Oh, excellent. Great.
So you don't have to ask the presence on this one. You get to use this once. You get to ask your god a yes/no question, and they will answer truthfully.
It's kind of cool. No matter where I am or when I perform this ritual, what I immediately do is, in this case, I didn't want my re-deader friend to know that I too have a shovel tucked here under my stinking robes, and I bust it into the ground and pull a severed, rotting head out. Doesn't matter where I am. I could be like on the floor of the Louvre. I'd pull a rotting head out of the ground if I.
That's probably like spell. To be fair, like the Louvre, probably a place where you could find a severed soul or two.
Yeah. Not very difficult, I would imagine. Go down far enough.
Yeah.
So, and let me see. I am going to ask my dead god. Boy, let me see. Can we use the cat's black thread to fix what's wrong with this village?
The mouth, it, and like maggots pour out of it, and maggots squirm. The head is voiceless, but the maggots make the shape of a Y. And
excellent. Let's get stitching.
So while you're stitching and bitching, Ferric, you enter into this inn, and it seems like it's been mostly abandoned. You have a table with papers on it where there would probably be like the front counter. That man who is smiling in it is pouring wine.
Let me pause you real quick. Have we forgotten the past?
No, I think we remember it each time.
I was just adding in repetition for repetition.
No, I would normally appreciate that quite a lot, but let's get the repetition where we can. Hello, friend. I immediately move over to the bar, grab a mug and the nice bottle of booze, and come in.
You got the brown bottle, man, with exquisite tastes.
My friend, let me ask you a question. I've been here before. I went in Hellsville. Have you died here yet?
What?
Have you died here yet?
You killed me once, I think. I'm not sure. A little bit hazy. It was more than a little bit drunk.
He looks very confused and he goes, I shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
Well,
it should have worked.
It barely, whatever you try to do, not work so well.
He goes pale, and he goes, no. And he like breaks the bottle of wine, and he goes, fuck! He runs over to the table, and he's like desperately reviewing his notes, and he goes, this shouldn't be. You say I've killed you?
No, you drew a sword to kill my friend.
I killed...
But then everything go hazy.
He like starts to smacking the shit out of his head, and he goes, shit. There's something wrong. Oh no.
Yes.
This shouldn't be. You've been here? You've been here.
Yes.
but I don't know you.
Well, no, we never actually exchanged names. I am from Kyrgyz.
He shows no form of recollection. He
Yeah.
kind of smiles faintly when you say
And
Kyrgyz.
you-
And goes,
Did a stint in Kyrgyz. You're a mercenary.
how do you know that?
Because you told me, my friend.
They, as a prank, they like to mix something in people's wine.
Mercury, yes. Yes.
He falls to a stoop on the floor and he goes, those fucking witches. This is not supposed to be how it is. Well, you can go back and you can tell King Fatmu to just go absolutely fuck himself. He doesn't know what he's doing here. You, all of you, need to get the fuck out of here now. You don't know what you're doing.
I have a mission for you. I have never known what I am doing. But I am excellent at redeading. And that's is not a good life, is not a livable life. Fenric takes a very long. Fenric takes a as he realizes he doesn't really have a way to finish. Anyway, I just wanted to see if you understood. Obviously, you do. It's very sad. I'm going to see what the others are doing.
Make an agility check really quickly.
So I'm going to get fucked up.
Oh, haha, no, sir, I'm not. 19.
He tries to grab at you with like a very like clammy, trembling hand, and you move out of the way. His hand falls on the hilt of his sword, and he looks at you and goes, "What are your intentions here?"
My friend, I am just trying to figure out...
No, fucking no, you stop this friendly outsider bullshit. Look, I'm looking at you. What are your intentions?
What are my
If you don't tell me,
intentions?
I will read it from your intestines.
My intentions are to get free, get drunk, and spend the rest of the world's life drunk. That is my intention. But first I have to have this
long
bottle.
bender.
You don't need to worry about getting free. Forget everything. You start drinking, leave everything else alone, or I will gut you. He looks more scared than angry. Like, he's trembling. His sword hand is trembling. As you're on that scene, Falgog and Borda, you're following that cat moving to the northwest?
Yeah, I would think
Those
so.
things that look like ruins?
Yeah.
That I'm assuming it's our friend leading us to where the thread would be useful. It might be just a dumb cat, but I don't think so.
So, you approach these, like, the cat kind of disappears in between some of these the very sickly trees and moving towards these crumbling ruins. You see that there are crumbled sandstone structures that are, some look like pillars of structure beams of some type of building of some kind. There's rubble all over the place, and there's this very forlorn feeling about the place. Something unusual about this kind of makes the hackles in the back of your neck kind of raise, and you don't see the cat anywhere. But Borda, make me I feel like I've just been making presence check right and left. Make me a presence check at +2.
3.
Presence checks are valuable in a magical environment.
So you don't notice anything, but Barbie, shrugging towards one of these large sandstone pillars. And you can, if you follow Barbie's gaze, you can see the cat sitting on, it looks to be like a wooden trapdoor.
I see. Yes. Our spirit guide has led us here. Isn't that wonderful? Clearly there's
It certainly is, my lord.
That we should go down towards the dark lower area. We should
Allow me, my lord. And as I'm making my way towards the trapdoor, you can hear me grumbling under my breath about how much better the dead god was as a deity.
So you find this trapdoor that opens on very creaking hinges. The cat slow blinks again and then runs off as you find yourself descending into the darkness. After a long flight of stairs, you find yourself opening into a large rectangular room that looks roughly hewn from the stone or the bedrock of this place. There's a foul stench, and there is detritus everywhere. It looks like people have just been living in this very haphazardly. There's buckets overflowing full of human refuse, moldy food, and other things. Above it, you can smell some type of weird, waxy incense. And there's an open door far down this rectangular space that's open, and you can hear the sounds of chanting and maybe like some type of goat skin drum of some kind or some type of drum. Something is happening in this space.
You really want to go with goat skin. You can tell the difference in audio quality for your ritual. It's a tip for our viewers at home.
And don't worry, we'll stop at the half hour and then have time for announcements. So we'll do this for another 5.
Okay. Let's do it. Am I alone? I don't give a fuck. I'm in there.
I thought Border was with you. Border, are you going down?
I can't take my horse, can I? Yeah, I'd go down. I mean, the quality of that drum echoing up from the trapdoor.
That's the goat skin, man.
Yeah. Goat skin.
As you enter, if you follow that sound of the drum, you go through some winding passageways and end up in a large circular cabin space. It looks like it is a natural pocket in the earth with mighty stalactites looming down above you. There is a circle that has been etched and carved into the center of this floor, marked with strange runes. There are hooks that are along the walls here, and from the hooks there are colorful strands of strings of different sizes and thicknesses and colors interweaving and then linking towards the center of this room, making very strange crisscross runes. Here you see that there are 4 of these weird figures, also with that kind of white pancake makeup, with the various black lines across the face. You see the man that had the lines across his face going horizontal, still chewing rocks in his mouth. A figure with a very slender and lanky with a big circular symbol, almost like the void. Another person who looks shorter and stouter with a black handprint across their face. And then lastly, another figure that has lines just running down their face like tears. The center of this circle, there is a cow, and it looks like they are ready to plunge some type of sickle-looking thing inside the cow.
That poor fucking cow. Okay, hang on a tick. Something like, okay, so the dude with the rocks in his mouth. Are any of the other ones distinguished in any way other than the face paint?
They have one person has colorful cord and thread around the wrist. Another one has as a necklace. The man with the rocks had it as a belt, and another person has it as an anklet.
Black only. What color thread do each of them have?
It's variated. Various ones.
Not one color per person. All right. I'm gonna pick our friend with the 4 stripes on his face and just bonk him with my femur again.
So you go up and you're about to bonk him, and the person with the circular mark holds that metal instrument up and tears into the cow, saying, "We will make this whole again. We will repeat the pattern." And you notice various, the reality itself has a shimmer like there's like a bonfire with a heat shimmer that is shaping your vision. You hear the sounds of things wailing in the distance and claw-like things beginning to emerge from various tears in reality. The witches begin to shriek as weird clawed things begin to pour in on them from these various rens and start to shred them to bits. As you're seeing this all unfold, you see something shimmering, almost like you're looking at a mirror face or like the surface of a lake, like a shrouded figure, almost very much like a Grim Reaper in a way, shrouded in a funeral shroud, reaching out with talon-like hands and cords of thread, seeming to pierce through this crumbling reality when that the cow itself catches on fire, making a smoke screen, and as that smoke parts, you find yourself approaching a village from the south. A crow is flying above you, and there is a man waving at you, beckoning you into an inn. So we will put this as a natural stake in this adventure. And as you are adjusting again to another kind of repeat of this cycle, you notice that there are more things happening that seem to be just wrong. There are now additional people besides the person waving at you, shadowy figures that are moving about, looking very sinister. And you know this pattern will keep continuing and breaking down more and more the longer it goes on. So that is where we will pause for today. So that leaves us at our announcements. Would you like to talk about your upcoming book signing, Charles?
Sure. Yeah. October 22nd. I will be at, what's that place called? Help me out here, John.
Oh. As soon as you start making the announcement, I put it down. Legendarium Bookstore.
Legendarium Bookstore.
From 4 to 5 p.m.
Correct. I'll be there along with a couple other Utah Horror Writers Association members and writers, including Karen Laniga. I'm pretty sure that CJ Langill will be there. Yeah, go if you have a mind to. It'll be fun. You can see me wearing a gas mask and looking, I was going to say sexy, but creepy is probably more accurate. That's it.
A big thanks to Ben for allowing us to play the cross stitch. This is a lot of fun, and I would definitely love to play this, having a long time to really go into the cycle. So big thank you to Ben Nansky. Again, make sure that you support this on Itch. It is still crowdfunding until October 1st to make this into a deluxe version. So for a small fee, you can get the Ashcan edition, or for a larger pledge, you can get the full beta, which will be coming out very soon. Or I guess final product, not beta.
And in John's absence, because I guess he either got booted or... Oh, there he is. John, you're just in time to give us the outro.
Friends, thank you so much for joining us on this consensual journey we call Wandering Monster. I have been John Baltusberger.
I've been Charles R. Bernard.
I have been approaching the village from the south. A crow is flying overhead, and a man is waving you into a tavern.
I've been a monkey behind a microphone today.
On that note, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week. Until then, I guess we'll be reckless. Who cares? We'll just show up in the same place again.
Ciao.
We will
see
you
you
are approaching a village from the south.
Stay
A crow is
safe
flying overhead.
and roll crits.
Oh, my...
Yeah.